Our focus today, the end of CBS News Radio. The timeline for a major shift in American broadcasting is now set. From Newscast, I'm Victor Hale.
And I'm Adriana Costa.
The timeline for one of the most significant institutions in American media has been set. On May 22nd, CBS News Radio will go silent after nearly a century of continuous operation. This isn't just a change in programming, it is the dismantlement of a broadcast infrastructure that has existed since 1927. When William S. Paley founded the network, he was creating the first true national news pipeline that millions of Americans came to trust.
It is difficult to overstate the cultural footprint here, Victor. For many, CBS News Radio was the primary connection to the world before the age of television and the internet. Paley saw the potential for radio to be a public service, but it was Edward R. Murrow who gave that service its soul. His broadcasts from London during the Second World War brought the reality of the Blitz into American living rooms.
Murrow's work established the ethical precedents for what we now consider objective broadcast journalism. He pioneered the concept of the field report, using natural sound and factual narration to convey high-stakes information. That gold standard was maintained for decades, even as the media landscape shifted toward cable and digital. CBS News Radio remained a constant, providing the top-of-the-hour updates that defined the rhythm of the day for listeners nationwide.
That is why this shutdown feels so abrupt to the industry. We are looking at 99 years of history, ending just months shy of a centennial celebration. The network survived the rise of the internet and the decline of terrestrial radio for years. Now, however, the corporate landscape has changed in a way that the traditional radio model apparently cannot survive.
The catalyst for this closure is the ongoing restructuring at Paramount Global. Since David Ellison took control of the company, there has been an aggressive move to trim legacy assets and consolidate editorial resources. Bari Weiss has been tasked with overseeing the restructuring of the news division. The decision to shutter the radio wing suggests that the new leadership views the traditional affiliate-based radio model as no longer viable within their digital-first strategy.
It is a stark departure from the way Paramount has historically protected its news identity. We're seeing a pivot toward more centralized content delivery, Victor. Under Weiss, the focus seems to be moving away from the broad, high-volume affiliate service that radio required and towards something more streamlined. But in doing so, they're cutting ties with a massive network of local partners.
That is the logistical crisis that has not been fully realized yet. There are approximately 700 affiliate stations across the United States that carry CBS News Radio content. These local stations rely on those hourly updates to provide national and international context to their audiences. When the feed goes dark on May 22nd, those stations will have to pivot immediately to other providers like ABC or NPR.
For many of those stations, particularly in smaller markets, CBS was the only link they had to a global reporting staff. The loss of that infrastructure means a significant reduction in the diversity of news voices available on the airwaves. Local broadcasters are being forced to find new partners in an increasingly consolidated market.
There is also the human cost within the network itself. While we have not seen the final tally of job losses, the closure of a 24-hour news operation involves more than just the anchors. It is the writers, the editors, the engineers, and the technicians who have maintained this service for nearly a century. These are professionals who have spent their entire careers upholding the standards set by Paley and Murrow.
It is a sobering moment for everyone in the industry. As we move closer to that May deadline, the focus will likely remain on how Paramount rebrands its remaining news assets. If this is the end of the radio era for CBS, The question becomes what replaces that gold standard in a world dominated by algorithmic news? The loss of a century-old institution leaves a vacuum that is not easily filled by a digital restructuring.
The legacy of CBS News Radio will ultimately be defined by its commitment to factual clarity during the world's most difficult moments. From the first reports of the 1920s to the updates of 2026, it served as a steady hand. While the business model may be ending, the journalistic precedents established over the last 99 years will continue to influence how we report the news, even if the medium changes.